Breaking right now, 2 men just charged in the murder of an Indianapolis pastor's pregnant wife. Amanda Blackburn was shot in the head during an early morning break-in, and her toddler son was sleeping upstairs. Police say the arrest came after a major break in the case.
The first significant break was a DNA CODIS hit that tied Mr. Watson to what was believed to be the sweater or T-shirt that covered the face of the individual who was utilizing the bank card of Amanda Blackburn.
On the records, Griff, Jenkins, and Ted Williams went to Indianapolis to investigate Amanda Blackburn's murder.
So that our viewers get some sense, this is where the first burglary happened at 5:30 in the morning, and then as we come just down the sidewalk, we can see two houses down, we get to the Blackburns. So 6:11 a.m., according to police, we know that Davey is seen leaving to go to the gym out of his driveway here behind us.
Yes, that's correct. So if we tried to put this puzzle together to some degree, we know that a house 2 doors from Davey Blackburn was broken into. What we also have learned through sources is that the house right next to Davey Blackburn's house, just in the same time period that he was leaving, that someone tried to even get into that home. And
that's this home here?
Yes, that's correct.
So Davey's leaving here at 6:11 a.m. and talking to some of the neighbors, and these houses are close to each other. We've heard from multiple people that they heard 2-3 gunshots at approximately 6:45, 6:50 in the morning.
Yes, we talked to several sources, and one source told us that she awakened and she heard gunfire at around 6:45 that morning. We do know that at this stage, from all indications, Davey Blackburn was at a gym working out. That Davey Blackburn comes home, it's around between 8 and 8:30, and when he comes into the house, he finds his wife. She's been shot in the head. 911 is called.
And Ted Williams is just back from Indianapolis. He joins us along with former prosecutor Katie Fang. Ted, and we should say that Davey Blackburn, that's the name of the pastor. That's the pastor's name.
That's the name of the pastor. Greta, this one touched me closely. Being out there in that neighborhood, speaking to individuals in the neighborhood who knew that Blackburn family, had one black family live about 2 doors, talked about when they initially moved in, how this family bought cookies to them. It really got to me, and what I found more than anything else was when you found how he found his wife. She's down on the floor. She's bleeding. She's dead, and she's been shot 3 times. She's nude. One of her teeth has been knocked out of her mouth. You got to ask yourself, what kind of an animal would do this to another human being?
Katie, evil's the right word to describe them. I think she was sexually assaulted, according to the reports.
They are suspecting that she had been sexually assaulted. We know that she was 13 weeks pregnant at the time, and her 18-month-old son was sleeping upstairs. This is an example of a justice system that I believe was failing Amanda Blackburn. There are 3 men involved in this: Watson, Gordon, and Taylor. Watson and Gordon were on probation and parole for burglary. And there were 3 victims that morning, Greta and Ted, all of which were victims of a burglary. But it was Amanda Blackburn, whose husband left the front door unlocked. Of all the things that could happen, guys, he left the front door unlocked, and that's how they entered the home, and that's when she was pistol whipped, shot 3 times, and frankly executed by depraved human beings. You know, they got rid of the electric chair in Indiana in 1995, and frankly, I think they should bring it back for these 3 animals that were involved in the murder of Amanda Blackburn.
You know, we talked last segment, Ted, about surveillance cameras catching people.
Right.
You know, I imagine there's some neighborhood surveillance cameras in this one, but also the DNA, the same thing that caught the D.C. mansion murder, the DNA on the pizza. And this was the hit, the DNA hit.
Absolutely. And that is one of the things, and I heard the authorities out there talking about it. DNA data bank is essential. You get locked up for a crime, felony specifically, get your DNA, it's on file, and it's always beneficial and helpful. And I got to tell you, those videos were helpful. When they went to that bank, and Griff, Jenkins, and I went to the bank.
The ATM. You're on video at the ATM machine, everybody.
But they tried to cover themselves up, but it wasn't enough.
And Katie, that's right. They get you at the ATM machines. Another way.
That's right. The video surveillance from the ATM machine. They stole Amanda Blackburn's debit card, her Chase debit card, and they went to go use it, and that's one of the ways they were able to link them to this crime. They also used Facebook to be able to bust one of the suspects, and they basically led eventually to Taylor, who was the shooter in this case.
Ted and Katie, thank you both, and what a terrible story. What a tragedy. And evil people.